Okay.
All right, good morning. Okay, so this morning was a good example of everything we've been dealing with working from home, having
Certainly was.
children and dogs,
Children, dogs, and
husbands,
unreliable technology.
internet issues. Yep, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
But at least we can always rely on this.
Coffee. Yes, yes. All right, we got our morning coffee. So,
yeah. So, I wanted to, first of all, just say like how excited I am that we have finally, first of all, done something together and done something around this topic, which is so personal to both of us, given that, we started, for those of you who don't know, that Leon and I have known each other since college, since our freshman year, both psychology majors, and did a research project together in psychology, struggled through neurological psych together, and statistics. But, this is a topic, just psychology and mental health and well-being, that is, I think, so personal to both of us. And we're really so passionate about it. And when we were in college, there was never anything related to positive psychology. It was all about, treating an illness or how to deal with abnormal psych and getting people to a normal level, right? What we call quote unquote normal, but there wasn't anything about how to make people thrive, right?
Absolutely, yes. And I think now this resonates even more with this past year of this pandemic and being in lockdown and just everybody's lives changing so dramatically. It's, we feel very lucky. You probably do too, for the good things that we do have, even though a lot of people have been impacted negatively. But it was just a good time to check in and see how, we can really thrive with all that we have and look inside and leverage our strengths. And so that it even resonates more that this idea that you and I are so passionate about, this angle of positive psychology.
Yeah. And I think also, the need to build resilience, which is what positive psychology is really all about. It's how do you still stay positive, stay focused on your goals, not be so stuck in whatever negativity is happening, but be solutions focused. And I think it gives you the tools to do that. So hopefully that's what we're going to be sharing with everybody else. And, I think this year, as you said, is really so pivotal for so many people who have realigned with their values, reassessed where they are in their life, what it is they want moving forward, and how they're going to start living life differently. Obviously, we've already all started living life differently.
Right.
How are we going to either carry on the things that we've started doing or shift into doing new things that we know we want to do? So some of the things I knew I wanted to do, where I said I'm going to try to take advantage of what's going on, was to have more family dinners around the dinner table. It was really hard for us for whatever reason. I mean, first of all, I'm not a cook. Second of all, time management is sometimes a problem, but Noah's hungrier at certain times of the day than when, my husband's hungry. So we're not all on the same schedules. And I think we really tried to focus on being on the same schedule and at least like really sharing that concentrated time. And I think a lot of people have seen the difference between quality time and quantity time, because I think we've all had quantity time.
Yes.
And at first, maybe it was really high quality because it was new. But then as things progressed, it's just, here's our new normal. We're together all the time. So then it just became a lot of quantity, maybe without regard for the quality. And so I'm trying right now to make a shift back to quality time and really making my family here the focus, because I'm busy on my computer all the time working, and as I'm sure you are too, and you've got 2 boys to deal with, so at an age where at every age they need us, but it's tough to balance it all even when we are home. So I think those are important things to still keep in mind. What shifts have you made, or what have you been thinking about this past year?
So I think what we're doing right now, I think the shift we've talked for many years, and you and I have also dabbled in some small business ventures together, and you are such a natural entrepreneur and so creative, and I have worked in small startups and large startups and a lot of business experience and working with executive education. And then this last January, when we, continued our conversation that we've been having for years of let's collaborate, let's do what we really love and create a business around it. I think, to answer your question, the shift that I felt inside, I was like, this is the time to take my passion project of helping women for the last 20 odd years, involved with my business school, and put that towards a business that you and I have been wanting to do, which is helping all people kind of really thrive in life. And I know we've talked in the past years ago about doing that specifically for job development and career development, and you have a lot of experience around that. But I think now it goes beyond that. It's like, let's just help women really thrive in their personal lives as well as their professional lives. So
and they're all connected too.
Yeah.
One of the things that I said, and I feel like I want to claim the inspiration for coining the term work-life integration. I know someone is going to claim that they coined that phrase, but I used to say to my boss, when I had a boss, because I was laid off during COVID, for those of you who also don't know, that it's not about work-life balance, because balance means it's at sometimes one and sometimes the other. And when I actually wanted to work from home, which I started doing before the pandemic happened, I said to my boss, I need this. I don't need this like a seesaw. I need this. I need to be able to do my work, go to the grocery store. I mean, in Brooklyn, it's not a far drive, right? I can walk out my front door and go to the grocery store and be back in a half hour. But I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to throw in a load of laundry. I want to be able to do a little prep for dinner so that I actually can cook a home cooked meal. And that would be nice. So it's that work-life integration that I think is really needed, and people are actually talking about now. So to me, that's been kind of nice to realize. But it's not about the balance. It's really about how do you integrate those two? Because it can't be all one or all the other at any given time, right? There's always like a child calling you, even if you're home, mommy, I need this. Or, you're planning for, your doctor's appointments for your kids, like whatever life happens, doctor's appointments don't wait until 9 o'clock at night until the work is stopped. So how do you really integrate all that?
Right. And now the situation's amplified with, we have to work from home and we're all at home. And I've had a different experience from you, where I had a lot of job flexibility for many years. When I worked at Google, I did have flexibility, but that actually was very challenging, because that meant if I could leave work at 5 to take care of my children, come home, make dinner, I was back online from 8 to 11 p.m. And so there's very huge challenges that come with that flexibility, but we need the flexibility. So I think now one of our objectives is to help people leverage the strengths that they have to manage that freedom of flexibility, because with the freedom comes a lot of challenges. So that's the other thing. So I think, like, you now have this integrated life experience, but you're also facing the challenges, as you mentioned earlier. Like, you need to be on the computer, although your son needs you. But yeah, so that's another thing. And I think these topics come up and everybody knows about them, but how do you actually thrive in that type of environment? How do you thrive with this integration of work life and home life, and just also making sure you're taking care of your own health and wellness?
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say making time for yourself, because it's so hard. I don't take enough time for myself. I realize that.
Right. And I realized, so another thing that I realized this year, to go back to your earlier question, what did I shift, is just getting better at putting my personal time into my calendar. And I used to always just put, like, the first thing that went, if something came up for pressing for work, I would get rid of my yoga or a run or something like that. And what I have done better is putting those types of exercise and even a walk into my calendar, which I think a dog helps too. So we both have relatively new dogs. You definitely have a COVID puppy, which you got this past year. I have a 2-year-old puppy, which we somehow got before this even happened, but that also helps. So that's another thing that we've discovered. Yeah.
It does.
To get us out of the house, and you have to. It's like a child. You can't just ignore it. And that helps you, though, to stick to your kind of commitments to get out and walk and take a little bit of time for yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited that we are going to start our morning coffee talks, that I get to spend more time with you, and hopefully that we get to share what we're passionate about with everybody else, and that we can really build a community around these shared interests and shared topics and ways that we want to live, so that we can all learn from each other, because I think that's, what this is all about. We've all done a lot of learning, and we all have a lot of information to share. So I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. And this sharing of information, there's a lot out there. And so I'm excited that we're going to help people really kind of cut to what we think and what we want to hear from others is important. So there are so many wonderful tools, and there's so much great research that's come out over the last 30 plus years, specifically around positive psychology and that kind of health and wellness attached to really doing well in all that you do. So I'm excited to learn more from you too, Michelle, about what you've studied in your certifications, and then I can, add to that in my years of experience, kind of with adult education.
Lots to add.
Yeah. Great.
So,
All right.
Well, we hope that you will all join us again soon. We look forward to hearing from you. And Liana, I will talk to you later.
Talk to you soon. Bye.